This set is different because of the fact that it... Hey guys, this is JP's LEGO Reviews. Today, I'm going to review the LEGO Creator Expert Modular Brick Bank. Now, the set number on this LEGO set is 10251. The piece count on this set is 2,380 pieces, and the recommended age range for building this set is 16 and up. So, let's break it down. Before I show you the minifigures and then the entire build, I'm going to quickly just give you a look of what this LEGO set looks like. Now, it's a very interestingly built LEGO set where you have a laundromat to the side and then the rest of it is all a bank. Obviously, on the sides where you're not supposed to see it, it looks a bit ugly so that LEGO can add in all the interior detail that's needed. And the other thing to note is that this LEGO set does tell a story. Not as much as the detective's office, but it still has its own story to tell. But now, let's move on to the minifigure collection. Here is the minifigure selection for the brick bank. We have two women on our left. We have a bank worker on the right. I actually have two bank workers. You have one on the left, one on the right, and then you have a girl that's won 500 studs. Also, with these minifigures in the back, there's not too much detail to show, but they do have some level of detail. Also, before we move on to the main build, here is the ladder that comes with a brick bank. It's really nothing special, it's just a ladder. But now, let's move on to the main build of the brick bank. Now, let's start with the brick bank. Obviously, there's chimney access to be able to rob the brick bank. Over here, we have a door leading to the roof from the bank. You also have a skylight with with a chandelier as well. And that's pretty much it. So if you take it off, you will notice that if you flip this over, the chandelier is designed to dangle, and it can actually spin. But when it's up, you can also flip it like this to save on space as well. And let's look at the brick bank. Now, we have the chimney in the middle. Let's set this down a little bit. Now, it's sort of difficult to see since there are things here as well, but you have a regular table. You also have some bits of kit from the robber as well. You have a desk, and this is basically the main office for the person who owns the bank or the manager of the bank. Over here, you have a little kitchenette area. You have the fireplace attached to the chimney. You have a spinning chair. You have a laptop. This is where I guess like the secretary goes. You have a mop. That's the janitor that we saw. The stairs don't move, unlike in the detective's office. And you can also go down the stairs behind here as well. There's not a whole lot of detail on the first floor, but that's because all the detail is on the ground floor of this build. Now, here's the ground floor. Here you have the split between the laundromat and then the bank section. Over here on the outside you have, let me just move this a little bit, you have a tree, you have the clock, you have double doors going into the bank, you have a seat, a bench seat, a lamp, and a door into the laundromat. Now, you have a chimney here as well. Somewhat open access, but not completely, from the laundromat to the brick bank. Over here, you have areas where people can pass on money and checks from the public zone, which is here, to the private area, which is this area of the bank, and you can access it through this door. But you would assume, obviously, that this would be a locked door as well. The stairs do move here, and that provides you access to the vault. Now, you lift it up. Let me just lift it up. You have some detail on the over here. You have money stacked. You also have a place to place a minifigure. You can open the door vault by spinning it open and then opening it up like here. As this does have a locking mechanism as well, where if you look at the other side, over here, you can, if you leave it down, you can open it, but you lever on a degreed angle and then it won't shut. You also have an area to deposit coins into the vault as well. And in the laundromat, you simply have tiling, piece of newspaper, where it says basically nothing interesting. You have a seat to wait for your laundry, and then I'll actually show you the laundry and chimney section separately. Here is the chimney portion. Obviously, from here, it looks like a chimney, but there is a secret opening. This allows for the robbery to happen, and with the top section, once you get on top of the vault, the Lego set allows you to open up the vault, and then the robber can steal some of the money in the vault. Obviously, it's a pretty simple section, but it does provide for a bit of an interesting story aspect. But now, let's move on to the laundry / money storing area. Now here, you have a laundromat section where you have 3 laundry sort of washing machines that work and one that doesn't. Keep your eye out on the one that doesn't, but these all look like regular washing machines. They aren't anything special. You also have the detergent to wash your clothes. Now, going to the banking side, you can deposit coins into the ATM section, and you have 3 doors. The first one has a bit of silver in it. The second one has jewels. The third one has nothing in it actually right now, but this can be difficult to open. It does have nothing, but there is a slide seemingly. Why is that? And this bit is locked. Well, this Lego set allows you to money launder, which is why the bank and laundry are combined. So we have a $100 Lego note and a gold bar. Now, we saw it was empty, the bottom area. You slide your money in and it disappears. You try and do it in the other ones, you're not getting anywhere. You can't fit your money or your gold into any of these ones, but with the faulty quote unquote one, you can easily push it down into a section. Now what will happen is once you open it, as you can see, it just slid out. I'll show it in, I'll just move the gold away for a second, and I'll do it with the gold as well. You feed it in and it slides back out. I'll quickly show you the instruction manual and then I'll get to my final thoughts on the brick bank, because that's all that's in this set. Here is the instruction manual. As you can see, you have to also do it wideways as well, and you just keep going. There's not a whole lot to it. Let's go to the last sort of pages. You have your benches. Basically, there's not a whole lot to it, but you can see the collection of modulars where you have the Parisian restaurant, the detective's office, and then the brick bank. The first time we've seen that in a bit. You have a Lego Creator sort of logo, and then you have this thing showing that you're done with your build. But now, let's move on to my final thoughts. Now, what are my final thoughts on the Lego Brick Bank? Well, as a Lego set, this set is different because of the fact that it brings a sort of awareness to an issue that exists, which is money laundering. The reason why is because the build literally had a section where you launder money. Yeah, it's quite literal in the fact that you use a laundromat to do it, but the overall concept is shown in this set, and that's an interesting thing on its own. It does create for an interesting story, but it does sort of highlight what can happen and what does happen in real life too, and that's an interesting move, and it definitely paid off with this Lego set since it was executed really well. And overall, this is a fantastic Lego modular, and this is why I rate it 5 out of 5 stars again. And with the other modulars that I've done, with the exception of the Palace Cinema, I rate this 5 out of 5 stars too, because it's simply an awesome modular. What you want from a modular, which is an interesting build, great displayability, great detail on the inside, and a very picturesque looking building, is all executed in the brick bank. And for 250 Australian dollars at the time of release, it's certainly not a bad deal of a Lego set. What is interesting though, and what is worth noting, is this Lego set was only available for 2 to 3 years. It was available for significantly shorter amount of time compared to the Detective's Office, Parisian Restaurant, Palace Cinema, or especially the Assembly Square. And this now makes the brick bank very expensive to buy, simply because it was available for less time than other modulars. But it's a fantastic modular, and I highly recommend it if you can get it. But if you're just starting out your Lego modular collection, get a current Lego modular, because it's just going to be more worth your money, especially because you can buy it at normal retail price. And these days, I think it's about 300 to 350 Australian dollars, which is more expensive than back when the brick bank was released in 2016, but it's still decent value for money for what you're getting. And I highly recommend that instead, because you still get to have a Lego modular without having to fork out 2 to 3 times what you would for the brick bank. And that's pretty much it. Let me know what your thoughts down below on this Lego set. If you enjoyed the video, please smash the like button. If you want to see more content just like this, please subscribe. I hope you guys have a brilliant day and keep building.